methods work. You guys should already be comfortable with methods. I stress this to all my students in 2302. It's really important that you get outside of coding. It's in main. Main should primarily only be used to invoke other methods. Your methods, the ones that you create, should do all the work, and you should have methods that specifically do, or that each method should specifically do a particular thing. So you shouldn't have one method that does everything. You should have multiple methods with each method doing something towards solving the problem. So it's really important to do that. I'm going to try to do that here. Let's see here. So inside this, in our main, we're going to create a print writer. And this is our first opportunity to really look at a print writer in an assignment. So I'm going to set him to null, and then I'm going to create this count. This count is going to be my index. So let me change it to index. Okay. Now I'm going to give a try. Anytime I have a print writer, I need to put everything else in a try. And because I have a try, I'm going to just do a catch. And for this case, I'm just going to do a general exception. I believe I talked about having specific exceptions in a previous lecture. But just because I'm trying to get through this lab, I'm just going to put in a very generic catch-all exception. And then I'm going to print the stack trace to the exception, and then I'm going to do finally, which is very important for print writers, where I have to close the file. If I do not do this pw.close and I run my program and my program works and my program ends, no data will be in the file, in my output file. So it's really important that we actually do the pw.close. Okay, so inside my try, this is where the invocations of methods will occur. Let's see here. I need to first, I'm going to declare or initialize my print writer, and everything else is going to happen inside of a method. Print writer, and then the name of the file is going to new file salary.txt. Okay. Let's see what the next thing is to now. 1,000 lines. I'm going to, I guess I'll do this. We'll do it right here. So we'll do a write to file, and we're passing in my print writer, and that's it. So now I'm going to create another method. Public static void write to file print writer, and he throws the exception. So inside this file, this is where I do all the writing. So let's create a, I'm going to actually move this guy down. I don't need him. I need him here. All right. For IDX, or while, let's do a while IDX is less than 1,000, we're going to get our file, some data, and let's go ahead and create a first name, create a last name, generate a rank, and generate a salary. And then we're going to write all this to PW. Alright, so then we're going to write, we are going to write to file. Alright. So I want to call more methods now. Public static void. Let's call it create first name. He needs to know the index. This is an int. And I gotta change the static void. This is where we're going to return first name plus IDX. Very simple. And this needs to be a string. Okay. And we'll do the same thing for last name. So create last name. And this will be last name. let's go ahead and save this one before I get ahead of myself. This is chapter 12. Create large data set program. Okay. First name is going to equal create first name, passing an IDX, and then do the same thing for last name. IDX. All right. So we're pretty much 2/3 of the way, or halfway done. And let me go ahead and write the file now. So this is going to be pw.println, and we're going to print, I think we're going to print the first name plus, and we can do spaces, we can do tabs, there's many different separators we can do here. I'll just do first name plus last name. I'll leave it here for now because that's all we have. All right. Let's go ahead and do generate rank. Generate rank. Generate rank again is going to, we're going to first create a random. Let me spell this out. So generate rank, we're going to have to create a. He's going to pass back a string, static string. Generate rank is going to create a rank, determine a rank based upon a random number. So public static string generate rank, and we're not going to. He doesn't need any parameters. All right, so we're going to say string rank string equals nothing, and then we're going to return this guy, return rank string. All right, so let's go ahead and create a random number. I'm going to just say generate random number, and this is going to be int random number equal to. There's a couple ways to do a random number in Java, and I'm just going to do it. I think this is the first way we discussed in 2.3.01 how to create a random number. So let's see, this is. No, I got to put this guy. That won't work. I got to put this guy here. All right. Okay. So. Case, and this is going to be 0, where the rank string will then equal to full. If the randomly generated number is a 1, we'll make him equal to the associate. And finally, if the randomly generated number is equal to a 2, we will make him an assistant. All right. Okay, so now I can add a rank string here, and I will put rank string here. All right, so far so good. Now the only thing that remains would be the salary once I fix this potential compile there. Okay, so let's quickly review generate rank. Yeah, I'll just make everything a string. Public static string generate salary, where I pass in a rank string. And so let's create go ahead and create another random generator, or yeah, random generator, a random object. Okay, in this, now that we have this object, let's go ahead and create upper bounds and lower bounds. I'll make these guys equal to 0 for right now. Alright. Now I'm going to do an if on my rank string. Full. Continue with this. If rank string is equal to full, we need to now use we're going to set our range max and range min. Range max, and I have it over here just so I can refer back to it much easier. So this is for a full professor 75. The full professor should be 130, and then the range min will be the 75. And this will become associate, where the range max for the associate is 110. And the range min for the associate is 60K. And last but not least, we'll do the assistant. Where the assistant, the max for the assistant is 80K, and the min for the assistant is 50K. Okay, now let's go ahead and we're going to create a salary based upon those ranges. Double, let's say our val is going to equal range min plus range max minus range min, and we're going to do multiply by r dot next double. Okay, so and we need to now to we're going to let's go ahead and I'm going to put them in format so that this number doesn't get too big on our screen. So I'm going to do decimal format, and here I'm going to go, and this way I can constrain how many numbers I have after the decimal point. For a salary, since we're dealing with currency, it doesn't make sense to have more than 2 decimal digits. And then I'm going to return was it df dot, is it format of our val. So again, we just created a random object, and depending upon what rank we have, we'll set the max and mins. With those constraints made, we'll create a random value, and then we'll just format that to give us a number that we want, or at least in the format that we want, and then we return that string. So let's go here now, string salary equal generate salary, and he needs to know what the rank string is. Okay, and then I just need to increment my I value or index value, and I think that should be it. Okay, so let me go ahead and compile it. Hopefully we don't have any compile errors here, and we can be good to go. Alright, so he should have hopefully created there we go, salary.txt file. Open up the salary.txt. Again, it should have 1,000 lines in it, so we started at 0, so the last one will be 999. You can see associate, assistant, and full are randomly separated. I'm missing my salary though. Did I not print out my salary? I forgot to print my salary. So let's go ahead and do this again. Plus salary, put a space. Alright, Now I think that should do everything. Let's go ahead and go recompile. Let me close this guy. Alright, here we go. So first name, last name with an index number. It's from 0 to 99. You see if the rank is changing. And our salary numbers are changing. And hopefully, let me just grab a look at, just to be on the safe side, I'm going just to make sure, look at the first three, or the first, the first associate, the first assistant, the first full, just make sure the salary ranges fit the constraints. So the associate needs to be between 60,000 and 100,000 or 110,000. That works. The assistant is between 50 and 80. That works. And then the full needs to be between 75 and 130,000, and that works. So I can say this code works and it's complete. And this is this will now conclude this lecture, and we will go on to one more problem from the book.